It's really wonderful to see your faces today, especially since last year we had a virtual breakfast. And so I'm very glad all of those of you who supported us last year, because it was very important for us to have that continued support. But it's really great to see all your faces. And I really have three main goals for the brief time I have with you right now. One is to honor some amazing people. Two is to give you just an update about DoubleARC. And three is to introduce you to some of our most inspiring clients who have transformed their lives. And I'm really happy that we're going to be able to introduce you to them. We have a great speaker that's coming up that I know that you will enjoy and has a great story to tell. And it's a very long story. Her remarks are not long, it's just that she's been associated with DoubleARC for many, many years. And she has a bit of a success story as well with her daughter, so that is to come. I want to just have one blatant promotional message right now before I get into the awards, and that is, I want to call your attention to the wonderful artwork before me and over at this table to my left, your right. These are clients in our Expressive Art program that created the artwork as well as the centerpieces. We hope you'll take home a centerpiece flower for a $10 donation, or will bid on the artwork at the silent auction, which will be open until 10 a.m. All the monies go to our Expressive Arts program. As you probably know, the art supplies are very expensive, but I'd like Shelley Kepford, our manager of the Expressive Arts program, to please stand, and I'd like to thank her for all her work with our clients to create. She's all the way over there right in the back. Thank you, Shelley. She's our director of the Expressive Arts program and does an outstanding job helping our clients heal through art. One other person I'd like to celebrate is Sister Suzette Fisher, who co-founded DoubleARC with other Sisters of Notre Dame. She told her superiors back in 1992 that she thought she could give 5 years as a break from teaching and being a principal, but she found her purpose and passion in working with children with FASD and is still going strong as our program director. Sister Suzette, will you please rise as we acknowledge and thank you for your dedication, your national reputation, and seeing DoubleARC through all its stages of development. And still going strong. Throughout those years, both DoubleARC and A Renewed Mind, who is, as you heard, was celebrating its 15th anniversary, have been fortunate to have media partners who cared about our mission. Each time a story would appear, we knew our phones would ring with someone who thought their child might have FASD, or someone would reach out to ARM for help with addiction. Today, for the first time, we are honoring 3 local media people who have made a difference in getting the word out about FASD and the opioid crisis. Will Karen Gerhardinger, Melissa Veitch, and London Mitchell please come to the stage along with Matt Rizzo. Newspaper, Karen Gerhardinger, has written many pieces about DoubleARC and ARM. Curiosity, a love of writing, and listening skills gained by being the shy one in the family lured Karen into journalism. After earning her bachelor's degree from the University of Texas at Arlington, Karen worked for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram and the Columbus Dispatch before taking a break to raise 2 sons. Since 2007, Karen has served as a reporter for the Mirror newspaper, a weekly in the Anthony Wayne and Maumee areas. Karen, thank you very much. Our next honoree, Melissa Veitch of 13 ABC, found a source in Matt Rizzo, and together they have worked on many stories about the local impact of the opioid crisis. Melissa has worked in television news in Toledo for over 20 years. She loves being able to shed light on stories that affect people's lives. She won an Emmy Award for her reporting about the heroin epidemic. She grew up in Buffalo and graduated from the SI School of Journalism at Syracuse University. Melissa co-founded a volunteer organization, Agility Angels, which uses trained dogs to help children with autism develop social skills. And she co-founded Give Autism the Boot, a yearly collection with area rescue worker organizations. Melissa also cherishes her time with her 3 children. We are glad for her reporting and her friendship. Melissa? I meant to ask if Karen wanted to say anything. Melissa, I know broadcast people aren't shy of the microphone.
I want to thank Renewed Mind, and very honored to get this award, but I accept it on behalf of all the men and women who I've interviewed over the last 7 years, and that's well over 50 people. I can tell you the people who are struggling with addiction are the bravest and strongest people I have ever met in my life. I can also tell you that personally I have seen Matt Rizzo just kick down the door to barriers to getting these people treatment. Matt, it is a privilege and honor to be a voice for these people, and on behalf of them, I'm honored to accept this and dedicate it to Fran Kronpak over here, who has sat with me and has represented and helped save many of these people. Thank you.
Our final honoree, London Mitchell, goes back almost 30 years in helping DoubleARC. London is the news director of Cumulus Media and definitely has that voice for radio. You may know the stations such as K100, Q105, 92.5, RQN, etc. He has a parallel career in public relations as the manager of public information for the Lucas County Board of Developmental Disabilities. With a degree from the University of Toledo and the Defense Information School, London has worked in local radio for over 50 years. He is the recipient of the United Press International News Leader Award for Best Newscast, Public Service, and Investigative Reporting. I first met London when we were both young upstarts on a fledgling radio station in 1976. He provided, after that, voiceover for early videos for DoubleARC and has interviewed Sister Suzette and me countless times. He's a truly caring individual and an advocate for those with developmental disabilities. We're glad to give this award to London Mitchell. Yeah.
You know, well, I really thank you for this award, but the award is not necessary because my real award is to be able to do the stories about the people at DoubleARC and recently a Renewed Mind. And Matt was very good to be getting up early in the morning to join me in recording. And as Janet pointed out, and I think Sister Suzette can verify, I've been around reporting on DoubleARC since about the very beginning, right? Well, that's 30 years ago. I'm not sure I can promise you another 30, but we'll give it a shot. Thank you very much.
Now about DoubleARC. In August, our FASD diagnostic administrator, Tara Smith, joined DoubleARC. Tara is an LPN who was working at a Renewed Mind's Adams Street office. We are pleased that she is able to handle all the administrative duties surrounding the diagnostic process to allow Sister Suzette more time to spend with parents and children. Also, for the first time, DoubleARC was able to receive funding from the Wood County Alcohol, Mental Health, and Addiction Board to serve Wood County residents and those at the Juvenile Residential Center of Northwest Ohio. We were also pleased to receive a major donation from a new foundation to us, the Lanterman Foundation. Plus, the LaValle Foundation has continued its tradition of supporting us with their pledge and the matching gift opportunity, which is before you today. You'll learn more about it later. With 1 in 20 school children possibly being on the fetal alcohol spectrum, our mission continues to diagnose, offer parent support and education, and offer mental health counseling to parents and children affected by FASD. Through the faithful giving of so many of you, DoubleARC is pleased to celebrate 30 years, and we look forward to the next 30 years. I echo what London has to say, however. Each year, we award the Michelle Irons MD Volunteerism Award to a special volunteer. Michelle was our volunteer medical director for 15 years until her death. This year, we honored 2 special volunteers. Our first one, Betty Heitker, can't be with us today as she is traveling in Africa. Betty is a retired nurse and has come to DoubleARC weekly or several times a week to help in getting medical records for our diagnosis. She's been a faithful volunteer and table captain for over 5 years. Accepting her award today is her husband, Ray Heitker, who many of you may know from the Cakewalk and Jazz Band. Ray, would you please come up and accept the award for Betty?
Elizabeth is sorry she can't be here today, but she's on a safari in South Africa. And by the way, about the name, everyone knows her as Betty, but I called her Elizabeth since the day I saw her, which I fell in love with her the minute I saw her, not because of her physical beauty, because I recognized inside that she had to have real great qualities. And I think that that's been apparent. And she thanks you, and I thank you too.
We couldn't agree more. Our second honoree is Mike Schnapp. Mike also has come in weekly for many years to do any odd jobs we had for him, including putting furniture together, which was not his favorite, calling families for our turkey distribution, getting mailings out, or working on our breakfast event. He also volunteers his time with many other organizations like the Toledo Zoo. He's an all-around nice guy, jack of all trades, and we appreciate all his time, baked goods he would bring in, and his support. Mike's aunt, Sister Pat Schnapp, who was 96, a sister of Notre Dame, passed away this past weekend. I first met Sister Pat in 2013 when we had our offices in the Provincial Center. And she would either come down and talk to me. She was named as DoubleARC's prayer warrior. As sisters retire, they get named a ministry that they are willing to pray for. And believe me, I took advantage of it. I often sent her emails. We would talk. She was a past principal of Notre Dame Academy. She was a very intelligent woman, very encouraging to me. So I extend my condolences to the Schnapp family. But we appreciate, Mike, that you could be here with your family. And would you please accept our volunteerism award?
I'd like to thank the folks at DoubleARC and Renewed Mind Center. It's very unexpected when you think people like Michelle Irons. And I'd like to thank Sister Suzette
let me work with them on this important task of treating people with FASD and their families. And I'd like to thank you guys for taking your time to come out here. I know it's a very time-conscious society, but you came out and made this effort, and now you can be part of the support when they hand out the little leaflets at the end of the dais. Okay?
This is unscripted, so I guess I'll give the microphone to Sister Suzanne.
I'd like to acknowledge Janet Bosserman for the numberless things that she does, keeps the DoubleARC Center for FASD together, and plans and executes this breakfast is amazing. And the breakfast, I think it's been about nine breakfasts that she's done. And last year it wasn't a breakfast, but it took just about as much energy and work to put that together, to have it online. So, Janet, I want to thank you. Thank you, thank you. Can't say it enough.
You know, when you have great people to work with, it doesn't feel like going into a job, and I've had wonderful people, including